So what's up guys, I am BlackOpsAmazing, welcome back to another zombies video where today I am taking your questions from the comment section below and answering them. If there's anything that you want to know to do with the zombies storyline or easter eggs, make sure you put your comments in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video by the end, a like rating as always would be very much appreciated, but it's up to you guys, it's totally your choice. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest zombies videos on the channel, but without further ado, whenever you're ready, let's get into it. So the first question of today comes from Richtofen. He says, in Shadows of Evil, why is the summoning key the strongest thing in the zombies world? Just in a crate that anyone could break into. Now, although it does seem that way, that's not exactly the case. Get it, case? Because it's locked in a case? No? Well, we find the summoning key in Shadows of Evil on the back of a truck locked in a crate that is sealed by magic. This crate can't just be opened by anyone. It's kind of got like a seal of the apothecans on it. I'm not exactly sure what to call it. But we know that the reporter recovered the summoning key from the South Pacific. Once he had it, he was then told by the Shadow Man to bring it to Morgue City, and so that's what he did. Richtofen, though, knowing that the reporter was bringing the summoning key to here, then travelled to Morgue City to attempt to intercept him. But as we know, because Dr. Monty wrote a letter to the reporter telling him not to give the summoning key to anyone, when Richtofen approached the reporter in Shadows of Evil, the reporter told Richtofen to stay away. But as we know, he didn't. Richtofen kept going closer and closer, and so the reporter went to attack Richtofen, and Richtofen, in self-defense, stabbed him and killed him. But with the summoning key now locked inside of a crate and Richtofen unable to access it, he knew that the only way it was going to be opened was by the apothecans, and so Richtofen stepped back through the rift and waited until the crate was opened so he could steal the summoning key right out of their hands, and that's exactly what happened. When our 4 Shadows of Evil characters turn into the beast, because we are an apothecan, we are able to smash open the crate, meaning the characters can then get their hands on the summoning key. And right at the end of the Easter egg, when they're about to hand it over to the keepers, we know that Richtofen, who had been waiting to get his hands on it, came out of the rift, took the summoning key out of their hands, and then disappeared. So to answer your question, it wasn't just randomly inside of a crate on the back of a truck. It wasn't able to be opened by anyone. It had to be opened by the beast. And Richtofen knew that he had to wait until the perfect time to get it. The next question says, still unanswered and never understood. What role does Michael Shaw play in zombies? And what do the DS Zombies maps play in the storyline? So I had to research this up because I've never played zombies on the DS. I mean, I don't want to. No, I don't want to. But I had to have a look at what this is all about. And it seems like the DS version of zombies really isn't canon to the story. It's not canon to our main story. It doesn't have any effect. It's just like an on the side thing that they decided to randomly do on the DS. I don't really know why, it's not very good. But Michael Shaw is just one of the characters that you can play as in zombies. We don't have Takeo, Nikolai, Dempsey and Richtofen. Instead we play as random characters, and Michael Shaw is one of them, but none of the characters have any meaning to the storyline. I believe Michael Shaw is just a character taken from the Black Ops campaign and then used again in zombies. But I don't think anything in the DS version has any significance or importance to it. There are 4 different maps on the DS. One is House, one is Overlook, then there's Temple, and finally Facility. I mean, they're all interesting maps, but again, not of importance. The other character we play as in the DS version is Yuri Razlov, is that how you pronounce his name? So it only seems to be 2 players, but again, I've never played it, so I don't really know. It looks like the date the maps are set in is the 1960s, but again, there don't seem to be any Easter eggs, no importance to the storyline. It's just the game mode, the extra in the DS version, which there's only one objective, which is to survive as long as possible, kind of like the old zombies. But yeah, there's no significance to the DS version of zombies. The next question is from Wolf J Terror, and he says, BlackOpsAmazing, love your videos, but if Richtofen 1.0 was trying to control the zombies, was it the Shadow Man that was helping him? Please answer. So in a way, I guess you could say that was the case, because we know when Richtofen first teleported to the moon in the 1940s, that is the first time he saw the MPD, this pyramid that was placed here by the apothecans. As we know, Richtofen touched it, he was electrocuted, and then in his head he began hearing voices. The voices of corruption, and more importantly, the voice of the Shadow Man. Because the MPD was built by the apothecans and it had a link to the Dark Ether, and we know that the apothecans at this time were banished to the Dark Ether, this meant that the apothecans now had a link to Richtofen, meaning the Shadow Man could talk to him. And so, in a way, as the Shadow Man tells us in Revelations, Richtofen at one point kind of became like the Shadow Man's apprentice. In a way, it was the Shadow Man who was influencing Richtofen to do all this. Before touching the MPD, Richtofen wasn't evil. I would kind of say he was arrogant, but he didn't want to kill Dr. Maxis. But when he touched the MPD, Richtofen changed, and from then on, he went on to kill Sophia and Maxis and take control of the zombies. So you could say the Shadow Man did help, or I wouldn't say help, but more influenced and told Richtofen to do all of the evil things he did in the original timeline. And as we know, whilst the Shadow Man was talking to Richtofen in his head, Dr. Monty was on the other end, although he got involved a little bit later after the zombie outbreak, where he began to help Richtofen, Takio, Nikolai and Dempsey throughout their missions by giving them the mystery box, the perk drops, the perks, the pack-a-punch, the war weapons. So the Shadow Man and Dr. Monty were both present in the original timeline, just in different ways. The next question from Anthony says, BOA, why is there the Raygun and other wonder weapons on the wall in the 5 intro cutscene? Now, I never noticed this before, so I went in and checked it out for myself, and he's right. I'd never seen this before, but in the intro for 5, you can see on the wall there is the Raygun. Not only that, but there's the revolver, the Bowie knife, a crossbow, an RPK, the China Lake. I mean, why the hell would they have that? It's bloody terrible. And a few other weapons as well, but of course the one that's interesting there is the Raygun. Now, we do know if you actually go down to the basement in 5, the bottom level, you can also find the Raygun down there. It is a prototype that is being operated on, or should I say being taken apart by the 5 scientists so they can learn what was inside of it and then building it back up, trying to make a better, improved version of Group 935's technology. But we know back during the 1940s when Samantha took control of the zombies, she sent the zombies to Derice, where they overran the facility and killed almost everyone within Group 935. And so the Derice facility was now abandoned. And because of that, this meant that both the US and the Soviet Union could infiltrate Derice and take equipment that used to belong to Group 935. One thing that the Russians took was Richtofen's diary, whilst the US took one of their mainframe teleporters, they took a portrait of Richtofen, and as you could see, they took Maxis's prototype Raygun. They took all of these back to 5, back to the Pentagon, and then began to experiment on them in their basement. They took apart Group 935's technology, their teleporter, their Raygun. They wanted to learn what was inside of them, what kept them running, and then improve them and make their own better versions of them. We know they successfully did that with the teleporter. As we can see in 5, we have better improved teleporters than Group 935 made, but as for the Raygun, it seems like they didn't manage to create a better version, and so just created more, and we can see one of them is on the wall in the intro cutscene. These are the weapons that the president has at his disposal. Yeah. But yeah, that's, I guess you could say, a cool Easter egg that I've never seen before. Perfect Potato says, BOA, why is it that on the Black Ops 1 campaign when you're escaping the Russian prison camps, why is your plan the same as Samantha's on Origins, such as rain fire and secure the keys? PS, love your videos. So as always, thank you for that. But yes, the steps that we take into escaping Vorkuta, which was a Soviet labor camp in northern Russia for the campaign, the steps that we take to escaping are the same as the ones to completing the Origins Easter egg. It is step 1, secure the keys. Step 2, ascend from darkness. Step 3, rain fire. Step 4, unleash the horde. Step 5, skewer the winged beast. Step 6, wield a fist of iron. Step 7, raise hell. And step 8, freedom. And I guess you could say they kind of make sense with the Origins Easter egg. They link up. They maybe decided to use them as the Origins Easter egg because it's a cool Easter egg, it's a cool thing to take us back to Black Ops 1. I don't know. All I can say is, yes, as I'm sure most of you will know, the Easter egg steps for Origins are the same as the Black Ops 1 campaign level. Killing Stim or killing Stim? Killing's Tim. Killing's Tim? Or is that killing Stim? I don't know, but it says, or she, what is the story of the Valkyrie drones? So the Valkyrie drones, as we can see on the side, were built by Group 935. We don't really know too much about them. We can see they were used by Group 935 for scanning. They were used in Stalingrad. They have 3 tentacles. They can fly. And they are freaking annoying. But Sophia gives us a pretty good explanation and tells us what the Valkyrie drones were doing during the time that Group 935 were active in Stalingrad.
Directive Log 203.1. Now that the 115 contamination of the Red Army is complete, The Valkyrie drones have been programmed to probe the ruins of the city. They will find any resistance trains and attempt capture. As directed by Dr. Groff, I have updated Valkyrie 7 and 8 to penetrate enemy lines in an effort to secure any survivors for study. Regrettably, however, contact with Valkyrie 8 was lost after it engaged one of the targets.
But anyway, there we go. That is all I have for you for today's video. Hopefully, as always, you have enjoyed. If you have, a like rating would be very much appreciated if you haven't already. But if not, don't worry, it's totally up to you guys. It's fine, I understand. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest zombies content on the channel, and also click the notification button. If there's anything you want to know, leave it in the comments, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.